Every day needs night. Let's help birds keep flight.
Imagine a world with no birds, no chirping on a morning walk, no bird watching with your grandparents. Only millions of extra bugs roaming the earth because one of their main predators are gone. This all would have led down to one thing: humans. We as a society have created many hazards to wildlife around the world. One of those hazards is light pollution. Light pollution is where the lights from cities pollute the sky, making us and many other species, such as birds, unable to see stars in their patterns. The stars are like a bird's GPS. They use them to navigate to their destination. 2.8 billion birds migrate at night, and they face possibilities of being thrown off their path and crashing from exhaustion. We also think it's worth mentioning that 50% of migratory birds don't survive the year. Stillwater, Minnesota is a large flyway zone located on the St. Croix River. Thousands of birds fly over our community each migration season, so we've made an efficient light cover.
We started with a 3D model to show what we wanted our final prototype to look like, then made a 3D model, a cardboard model, and added a large jar to hold the bioluminescence. We soon realized that the petals were too small and could not close fully around the jar, so we took away the large jar and added 4 smaller containers instead. Introducing the Lumen Bloom, a bird-friendly, self-sufficient, bioluminescent, downward-facing light that would replace the lights in downtown Stillwater. We first modeled it after the lady slipper, Minnesota's state flower, but then realized we could not model it accurately enough, so instead we modeled it after the snowdrop flower that comes as a first sign of spring in Minnesota.
The Lumen Bloom is mechanically controlled by a Lego EV3 robot. Our design contains a piston that pushes and pulls on wires attached to cardboard petals to open and close our flower. The Lumen Bloom uses a coded light sensor to detect the amount of light in the area to open the flower at night and close it with light.
As you can see, we've had a great amount of community impact, including meeting with the mayor of Stillwater, city engineer, and Joanna Echols, local bird expert. We've also participated in a local eagle fair, and these were some of the news articles we were in.
We have added STEM into our project in multiple ways, most notably our data collection. We've used data bots to collect light data, as well as we've crowdsourced star visibility counts. The reason why we are using bioluminescence instead of regular LEDs is because bioluminescence has a warmer color temperature. Light can be measured in kelvins, which represents a light's color temperature. Light with a lower Kelvin amount means that it has a warmer color and is more bird-friendly, whereas light with a higher Kelvin amount means that it is harsher, mimics the sun, and throws birds off their path. Sustainability also has a key part in our project. We, including massive amounts of energy savings from bioluminescence and solar panels. A regular street light would cost approximately $620 to run per year. Since there are 35 lights in downtown Stillwater, that would mean it would cost about $21,717 to run annually. With the Lumen Bloom, you don't have to pay for electricity, as the solar panels will charge the battery to run the system.
Remember, every day needs night. Let's help birds keep flight. Our group of 31 sixth grade students from Stillwater Middle School thanks you for your time and is wondering if you have any questions for us.
Well, you did really great. Where the first team, I think, did a really good job of telling us from story, like a storytelling. You really helped us lay out how it is sustainable, how you've used STEM, so that was really great. I love the idea. How did you come up with it? How did you come up with this problem for birds?
Well, our teacher, Miss Christensen, was she was just looking around and she found light pollution. And so she had a day for us to just search up light pollution, find out what we could about it. And then she found this competition. So we were like, let's make something. Let's make something to fix it.
That's amazing. Thank you.
So throughout this whole process, you obviously had to talk to a lot of people, especially people that work with, like the city, right? So the lights and the structures and the grids and stuff. Tell me about your interaction and what you've learned when it came to talking to city officials and how would you implement these lights? Just talk to us about that process.
Well, our city engineer did say that we could install one light and like see if it works, like just to test it out. But they've been really excited to work with us. I think it's really exciting to meet with them.
And also adding on to that, when we were talking to the city engineer and mayor, we got an insight on how things in the city are run, like details on like where they get their lights from and like how much it costs. So like we learned, for example, like a standard street light would cost around like $2,000 to $4,000, whereas like our system would cost up to like $500 maximum, and on average about $360.
Thank you all. This is really amazing. I saw Scratch. I am a part of Scratch as well, and so really happy that you all use Scratch. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yay. So my question to you is, are you thinking about building a prototype like that can actually be used in the city areas, or what are your future plans?
Well, we were gonna, we tried to, we actually 3D printed some petals. So we might, these kind of messed up, but we were gonna, we thought that this is very durable. We could use this. And
then along with that, we were thinking about reaching out to local places like Anderson Windows and other major companies that might have like disposable stuff that they just throw in the trash, and we could use that to make our product.
I had a really, I was really impressed with your presentation and your idea, particularly how it affects birds seasonally. How does it affect migration patterns and things like that, like spring versus winter? Did you have to study, like, do a lot of study on birds and their patterns and their and how they travel?
So when the lights from cities are directed upwards, they'll block out any view of the stars we have. I personally went down to downtown Stillwater, and I couldn't see very many stars, which means that the birds probably won't be able to see as many as well, and they need them to migrate to their destination.
I just want to say bioluminescence, that is insane. That is a really cool thing that you guys came up with. Like, I'm just blown away. I'm blown away by the fact that you guys were able to do this and you guys were able to do it efficiently, and you are still in the process of like refining it. That's incredible. Great job.
All right. Thank you, Stillwater Middle School from Stillwater, Minnesota.
Good job.
We'll have you guys move on. Anthony, one of the things that I really appreciated about their project is that they told us about the iterative process that they went through. It wasn't just, we had an idea, we made a prototype, here it is. They talked about, this one didn't work, so we tried again. This one didn't work, so we tried again. And that's something that I know for me, even in my life now, I still do that today. So it's really impressive to see these young kids going through that process.
For sure. And I particularly loved how they were able to connect the design to a flower from their state. Mm-hmm. And when it didn't even work the first time, they found another flower.
I love that
Super
too.
Cool.